As the clock struck midnight, an invisible and intangible force seemed to alter the air around. It was as if the world had paused for a second, suspended in the uncertainty of a moment filled with promises and mysteries. The darkness of the night, dotted with stars that blinked like watchful eyes, seemed to conceal ancient secrets, awaiting discovery by those bold enough to explore the unknown. It was a night like few others, where the line between the real and the imaginary became dangerously thin, inviting the mind to wander down rarely traveled paths. Amidst this almost magical atmosphere, a solitary figure walked along a deserted street, their steps echoing softly like a persistent whisper against the stillness. Their thoughts were a whirlwind of emotions and memories, each vying for attention. There was something extraordinary about that night, something that could not be easily explained or ignored. It was as if the universe itself was conspiring for something to happen, something that could change everything. As they moved forward, the figure pondered the crossroads of life, those seemingly small decisions that, in hindsight, reveal themselves as monumental turning points. How often does one think about what might have been, about paths not taken and opportunities missed? Every choice, every step, seemed to carry a weight greater than what was perceptible at first glance, as if an invisible force was guiding destiny. It was impossible not to wonder if chance truly existed, or if everything was, in some way, predestined. The wind blew gently, bringing with it a familiar scent that evoked memories of times past. It was incredible how the senses could transport someone instantly to another time and place, reliving moments that seemed buried beneath the layers of the present. But the past is never truly buried. It is always there, lurking, waiting for the right moment to reappear and claim its presence. And on that night, the past was particularly present, whispering promises and warnings that only the attentive could hear. There was an urgency in the air, a sense that something was about to happen. A question lingered, persistent and insistent. What did the future hold? It was a question that anyone, at some point, found themselves pondering. But on that night, it seemed more imminent, more tangible. The future was like a blank canvas, waiting to be filled with the colors of choices and actions to be taken in the coming hours, days, and years. But what to choose? Which path to follow when every direction seemed simultaneously promising and threatening? In the distance, the sound of soft music began to float through the air, carrying with it a melody that resonated deeply in the heart. The notes, as if they had a life of their own, danced in the wind, enveloping everything around in an almost palpable embrace. It was music full of longing and hope, a reminder that no matter how uncertain the future may seem, there is always beauty to be found in the journey. The music brought with it an unexpected clarity, a sense that despite all uncertainties and challenges, there was something greater, an invisible force that connected everything and everyone. It was a reminder that, in the end, we are not alone. Even on the darkest nights, there is light to be found. Even in moments of greatest doubt, there are answers waiting to be discovered. And even when everything seems lost, there is always a path to follow, a step to be taken. With this new perspective, the figure continued their walk, each step now filled with purpose and determination. The night was still full of mysteries, but somehow, they no longer seemed so frightening. There was a new understanding, a recognition that life is made of moments like this. moments when everything can change, when the impossible becomes possible and the unknown reveals itself. And so, with a heart full of hope and a mind open to the infinite possibilities the future held, the figure disappeared into the darkness of the night, leaving behind only the echo of their steps and the promise that, no matter what happens, there will always be a new adventure waiting. In the stillness of the evening, as shadows stretched across the streets of the small town, something unsuspected began to unfold. The central square, usually a vibrant meeting point, was empty except for an old clock that occasionally interrupted the silence with its solitary chimes. Yet there was a whisper in the winds, a foreboding that the night would bring more than usual. Anna, a young teacher, was returning home lost in thought. The day had been like any other, but there was a restlessness she couldn't name. She lived a few blocks away in an old building that had seen better days. As she entered the building, something in the air made her hair stand on end. It was as if the atmosphere was laden with an ancient feeling, untold stories permeating the worn walls. As Anna climbed the stairs, the sound of footsteps echoed behind her, but when she turned around, no one was there. Laughing at herself for being so impressionable, she continued on her way, trying to ignore the sensation of being watched. Upon reaching home, she collapsed onto the sofa, trying to shake off the feeling that something was about to change. That night, as the city slept, a strange sound stirred her awake. It was a soft sound, almost imperceptible, yet persistent. It came from the hallway. With her heart racing, she got up and walked to the door. Upon opening it, she found a solitary envelope on the floor. There was no sender, just her name written in handwriting she didn't recognize. Inside the envelope, there was a single sheet of paper with an enigmatic message. Sometimes what we seek is closer than we imagine. Anna felt a chill down her spine. Who could have left it? And why? The questions spun in her mind as she tried to decipher the meaning of the message. The next day, the routine seemed to want to follow its normal course, but Anna couldn't concentrate. The message lingered in her mind. During the break, she decided to walk to the school library, a place that always calmed her. As she leafed through an old book, a card fell from within, as if it had been waiting for her. On the card, another message. The eyes of the past see more than we can imagine. Anna felt a mix of fear and curiosity. Who was behind this? And why did it feel so personal? The town, with its narrow streets and historic buildings, had always been a place of mystery. But now it seemed to whisper secrets directly to her. She decided to investigate, starting with that old building where she lived, which always seemed to hold its own stories. As night fell again, Anna found herself descending to the building's basement, a place she had avoided since moving in. The door creaked open, revealing a space filled with dusty boxes and old furniture. As she explored the area, something caught her attention. An old mirror with an ornate frame, almost hidden beneath a sheet. Pulling it off, she was frozen in place. Reflected in the mirror was not the basement, but a ballroom with people dancing in clothes from another era. It was as if the mirror were a window to the past. Anna, incredulous, moved closer, and upon touching the cold surface, a lost memory surfaced. She remembered her grandmother, who always spoke of a ball where she met the great love of her life. That scene, that ballroom, everything made sense now. The past and present were connected in a way she never imagined. Suddenly, a figure emerged in the mirror scene. a woman who looked like her but dressed as if in the 1920s. The woman smiled and waved, as if inviting her to enter. Anna stepped back, heart racing. The figure was her great-grandmother, whose love story had always been a family tale. Back in the present, Anna realized that the messages were more than riddles. They were invitations to explore her own history, to connect with her roots. With the mystery partially solved, she felt closer to her family, as if all those stories whispered around the dinner table finally had a greater meaning. In the days that followed, Anna continued to investigate, discovering more about her family and the town's history. The mystery of the mirror was just the beginning of a journey of self-discovery. With each revelation, the town seemed more alive, more full of hidden stories waiting to be told. And Anna, once a teacher in search of answers, was now a guardian of memories, ready to tell her own story. The leaves of the trees whispered ancient secrets, a subtle melody carried by the twilight wind. It was as if the forest itself were alive, breathing in rhythm with the universe. Lara walked amidst the elongated shadows, each step a careful dance upon the carpet of dry leaves covering the ground. The journey to this point had been long and filled with challenges, but she felt she was nearing the culmination of her quest. There was something magnetic about the clearing ahead, an almost tangible presence that drew her irresistibly. It was as if the very energy of the place was calling to her, murmuring promises of revelations and discoveries. As she approached, Lara noticed a soft light emanating from the center of the clearing, a luminescence that was neither from the sun nor the stars. It was a light unto itself, a manifestation of something beyond the ordinary. She paused at the edge of the clearing, hesitating for a moment. What awaited her there? Would it be an answer to the questions that had plagued her for so long, or just another enigma to challenge her understanding? Curiosity, however, was stronger than doubt. With a deep sigh, she stepped into the open space, immediately sensing the change in the atmosphere around her. At the center of the clearing, a peculiarly shaped stone rested on the earth, covered in moss and lichens that glowed softly under the strange light. Lara knelt before it, running her fingers over the ancient textures, feeling the history embedded in every fissure. It was like touching time itself, as if that object held memories of past eras. What stories do you carry? What secrets do you hide beneath this ancient surface? The question hung in the air, unanswered, but laden with a silent promise that all things would be revealed in due time. The temperature seemed to drop suddenly, and Lara pulled her coat tighter around her. A chilly breeze blew, lifting leaves into a whirlwind around her, and she had the uncanny sensation of being watched. The eyes of the forest, invisible yet undeniable, seemed to follow her every move. There was something alive there, something beyond what her eyes could see. And then the voice came, soft and distant, like the echo of a forgotten memory. You seek answers, but are you ready to hear them? The question reverberated within her, not as a challenge, but as a sincere invitation to introspection. Lara closed her eyes, allowing the darkness to envelop her. Her mind traveled through memories of her childhood, her first encounters with the unknown, the stories her grandmother used to tell about this magical place where the veil between worlds was thinner. She remembered how, as a girl, she had dreamed of adventures and discoveries, of unveiling mysteries that always seemed just out of reach. Now, here she was, on the brink of something great, something that could change everything she knew about the world and herself. But what would be the cost of this knowledge? What price was she willing to pay for a truth that could be as transformative as it was devastating? The crunching leaves beneath her feet brought Lara back to the present. She opened her eyes, facing the stone once more. The marks on it, once just meaningless grooves, now seemed to form patterns, almost like a map or an ancient writing. It was as if the stone itself were gradually revealing its secrets. And if what you find here challenges everything you believe you know, the voice whispered again. Lara reflected on this, pondering the implications of such a discovery. Was she prepared to have her beliefs questioned? To see the world through a completely new lens? A crack in the woods made her turn abruptly, her heart pounding in her chest. But there was no one there, just the silence, heavy and expectant. Lara took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. The sense of expectation was almost tangible, as if nature itself were awaiting her decision. She knew she couldn't hesitate forever. This was a moment of choice, of action. With renewed determination, she stood up, ready to face whatever awaited her. What revelations awaited discovery? What new paths would open before her once she took the next step? The light in the clearing seemed to pulse, as if in response to her resolve. Lara felt a wave of courage flood over her, a certainty that, whatever the outcome, she was exactly where she needed to be. The journey to this place had not been easy, but each obstacle, each doubt had prepared her for this moment. She reached out, touching the stone one last time, feeling a deep connection, almost as if communicating with something beyond the physical world. The clearing, the wind, the night, all seemed to conspire for a single purpose: the revelation of the unknown. And then, in an instant that seemed to stretch for an eternity, everything changed. The clearing, the stone, the universe around her transformed, revealing layers of reality that had been there all along, but that she had never perceived. It was like looking through a kaleidoscope, where each turn revealed new shapes and colors, new truths and possibilities. Lara found herself amidst a sea of visions and sounds, a symphony of potentialities defying any attempt at rational comprehension. And at the center of it all, an unwavering certainty that true knowledge does not reside in answers, but in the infinite capacity to question. What would you do if you could see beyond the veil? How would you live knowing that the world is far more vast and mysterious than you had ever imagined? In the heart of a city forgotten by time, where ancient buildings mingled with vegetation that persistently reclaimed its space, there was a palpable sense of mystery. Cobblestone streets, worn down by decades of hurried footsteps, told stories of generations past. Among these streets, an old bookstore stood as a silent witness to the past. It was a unique space, with shelves reaching up to the ceiling, filled with dusty books whose faded spines held secrets of bygone eras. Frequent visitors were few, but those who entered often spent hours immersed in its pages, losing track of time as they explored literary worlds. Among the regular patrons was Clara, a curious and dreamy young woman who found refuge for her restless mind in books. On a rainy afternoon, as the sound of rain softly drummed on the roof, Clara found a book that seemed different from all the others. The cover, worn and untitled, sparked an irresistible curiosity in her. As she opened its pages, Clara was transported into a rich and complex narrative intertwining stories of characters from different times and places, all connected by an ancient secret. The The storyline revolved around a legendary city called Eldoria, vanished from known roots, but mentioned in ancient texts as a place where magic and reality met. Eldoria was said to be governed by a council of sages capable of manipulating time and space, guarding a powerful artifact that could alter the course of destiny. Fascinated, Clara delved deeper into the reading, her imagination painting vivid images of what Eldoria might have been. Among the book's surprising accounts was the story of a wandering traveler, a man who claimed to have stumbled upon Eldoria by accident. According to his descriptions, the city was a place of indescribable beauty, with golden towers reflecting the sun like mirrors and gardens blooming in impossible colors. He spoke of a library containing all the world's knowledge, where books were written in gold ink and their pages never deteriorated. This traveler, however, never managed to return to Eldoria, and many considered him either a madman or a storyteller. Intrigued, Clara began researching references to Eldoria in other books and documents. She found sparse mentions in ancient chronicles, yet all were vague, as if the city were more myth than reality. However, the more Clara read, the more convinced she became that Eldoria could have existed. She uncovered curious data about ancient maps showing uncharted regions and accounts of explorers who vanished seeking mysterious places. Clara's search for Eldoria became a silent obsession. She began visiting the bookstore daily, seeking clues in every book she touched. Her determination did not go unnoticed by the bookstore's owner, an elderly man named Mr. Bartholomew, who had a deep love for stories and a unique understanding of the power of books. He watched Clara with growing interest, sensing something special in her quest. One evening, as the bookstore was about to close, Mr. Bartholomew approached Clara. He led her to a hidden section of the store, behind a shelf that appeared solid but moved with a gentle touch. Behind it was a small room filled with rare books and ancient objects. Mr. Bartholomew revealed that he too believed in the existence of Eldoria and had collected everything he could find related to the mythical city over the years. Among the treasures in that room was an ancient map, unlike any Clara had ever seen. The lines were intricate, with symbols that seemed to vibrate with their own energy. As Clara studied the map, a sense of purpose washed over her. She felt she was on the brink of a monumental discovery, something that could change not only her life, but humanity's understanding of the world. With Mr. Bartholomew's support, Clara decided to embark on a journey in search of Eldoria. She prepared meticulously, studying the map and ancient texts, gathering supplies and crafting a detailed plan. With each step, her excitement grew, fueled by the hope that she was about to uncover something extraordinary. Clara's journey led her through unknown paths, dense forests, and majestic mountains. She faced unexpected challenges, but each obstacle only increased her determination. During her travels, she met others searching for Eldoria, each with their own stories and motivations, but none as driven as Clara. Finally, after months of tireless searching, Clara arrived at a hidden valley, surrounded by mountains so high they seemed to touch the sky. In the valley's center stood the golden towers of Eldoria, shining under the sun as the wandering traveler had described. The city was everything Clara had imagined and more. Upon entering Eldoria, she was greeted by a sense of peace and wonder, as if she had finally found her place in the world. In Eldoria, Clara discovered that knowledge was not just power, but also a responsibility. The city was a bastion of wisdom, guarding secrets that could alter reality. Clara realized that her journey had not just been a search for a lost place, but a voyage of self-discovery that taught her about courage, determination, and the power of dreams. Upon returning to the city, Clara brought back not just stories of a legendary city, but a new understanding of herself and the world. She became a storyteller, sharing her experiences and inspiring others to seek the unknown. The old bookstore, with its shelves full of stories, continued to be a refuge for dreamers like Clara, a place where past and present met, and where the magic of words never faded. As night fell swiftly, Lucas traversed the narrow forest path, each step echoing in his mind like a relentless drumming. The wind howled through the trees, whispering ancient secrets he could not decipher. The urgency in his chest was palpable, as if something invisible pulled him forward toward the unknown that awaited him ahead. He recalled Anna's words, her desperate pleas for him not to go alone. But her safety was all that mattered, and he knew he needed to find the source of the strange presence that disturbed their lives. With each step, the air seemed denser, charged with an electricity that bristled the hairs on his neck. Suddenly, a crack to his left made him stop abruptly. His eyes scanned the darkness, but there was nothing but the dancing shadows cast by the trembling flashlight in his hand. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. The feeling of being watched was overwhelming, but he could not afford to hesitate. He continued onward, ever more aware of the dwindling time. The clearing was near, and he knew there he would find the answers he sought. But what he did not expect was the sound that awaited him as he emerged from the trees. A cold, cutting laughter that chilled his spine. There, at the center of the clearing, stood the figure that tormented his dreams. An indistinct shadow cloaked in a darkness that seemed to absorb all the light around it. Lucas felt a shiver run through his body as the figure moved slowly toward him. He tried to speak, but his voice failed, suffocated by rising fear. The figure stopped a few meters away, and the laughter ceased, replaced by an oppressive silence. Lucas knew he needed to act, but his legs felt glued to the ground. Then he heard a whisper, soft as the wind, yet laden with undeniable authority. "You should not be here," said the voice, resonating in his mind. Lucas felt a sudden anger swell within him, fueled by the need to protect those he loved. He forced himself to take a step forward, defying the presence that intimidated him. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice finally finding strength. "What do you want?" The figure tilted its head, as if considering the question. "I am the Guardian," it replied, the voice echoing like distant thunder. "I am here to preserve the balance, but you, with your interference, threaten to destroy everything." Lucas frowned, his hands clenching into fists. "I only want to protect my family," he said, determination growing in his chest. "If you are truly a guardian, help me understand what is happening." For a moment, silence reigned again, and Lucas feared the figure would simply vanish, leaving him without answers. But then, slowly the figure raised a hand, and the darkness around it began to dissipate. Lucas saw something that left him breathless. A vision. A glimpse of past and future intertwined, showing the fragility of the world he knew. The clearing transformed before his eyes, revealing scenes of life and death, of love and loss. Lucas saw his own journey reflected there, his choices and their consequences. He understood that the fate of many was intricately linked to his own, and that the path ahead was more complex than he could ever have imagined. When the vision ended, the figure spoke again, its voice now softer, almost gentle. "You have a choice," it said.
You can move forward, facing the challenges to come, or you can turn back, seeking temporary peace, but know that every choice has its price. Lucas felt the weight of the decision he had to make. He knew that turning back would mean renouncing all he had learned, all the revelations that had transformed him. But moving forward meant plunging into a world of uncertainties and dangers. Breathing deeply, he made his decision. "I will move forward," he said, with firmness in his voice. "I can no longer ignore what I know. I must fight for those I love, for everything that matters." The figure nodded, and for the first time, Lucas perceived a glimmer of approval in its unfathomable eyes. "Then go," said the figure, gradually retreating. "The path will be arduous, but you are not alone. Remember this when the darkness seems more than you can bear." With those words, the figure vanished, leaving Lucas alone in the clearing. But he no longer felt fear. Instead, he was determined, ready to face whatever came next. He looked up at the sky, where the stars twinkled like beacons in the night, and began to walk, knowing that the true battle was only just beginning. As we reach the end of this journey, it's important to reflect on everything we've discussed and how it can truly impact our lives. After all, it's not just about absorbing information, but transforming it into actions that lead us toward personal growth and fulfillment. Life is made up of choices, and each choice shapes our destiny. It's essential to pause for a moment to think about the decisions we make daily and how they bring us closer to or further from our goals. Often, we are swept up in the hustle and bustle of daily life, not realizing that small adjustments in our mindset and behavior can bring about significant changes. The key to this transformation lies within us, waiting to be discovered and utilized. The first step is to develop a greater awareness of who we are, our values, and what truly matters to us. By aligning our actions with our principles, we begin to create a life that brings satisfaction and purpose. It is in this alignment that we find true happiness, not in external things, but in the inner peace that arises when we live according to our essence. Another fundamental aspect is the courage to face our fears and limitations. Often, what holds us back are barriers we create in our minds. We need to challenge these barriers, believing in our potential and capacity to overcome challenges. Remember that each obstacle is an opportunity for learning and growth. By facing these difficulties head-on, we strengthen our resilience and expand our possibilities. Additionally, it's important to cultivate healthy and meaningful relationships. Truly connecting with others enriches us and provides support on our journey. Empathy and compassion are essential for building bonds that nurture us and inspire us to be better each day. Never underestimate the power of a simple act of kindness and the impact it can have on someone's life. We must also commit to the practice of gratitude. Recognizing and valuing the good things we already have helps us maintain a positive perspective and attract more good things into our lives. Gratitude is a powerful tool for transformation that allows us to see the beauty in everyday life and keeps us focused on what truly matters. Finally, it's crucial to remember that change is a continuous process. We must be patient and gentle with ourselves, accepting that there will be ups and downs along the way. Personal transformation is not a destination, but a constant journey of self-discovery and evolution. Each day, we have the opportunity to start anew, correct our mistakes, and move forward with greater wisdom. As we conclude this video, I extend a special invitation to you.
How about starting today to apply these concepts in your life? Take a pause, reflect on what you truly desire, and take the first step toward that change. Don't wait for the perfect moment, as it will never arrive. The moment is now. Share your experiences and insights in the comments, even anonymously if you prefer. Your story can inspire and motivate others who are on the same quest for transformation. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do it now so you don't miss any content that can help you on your journey of personal growth. Together, we can create a community of mutual support and inspiration, where each of us contributes to a better world, starting with the change within ourselves. Thank you for following.